What happens inside you when you hear the word jealousy? I'm sure it brings up some kind of feeling. And I'll tell you this. Most of us think of jealousy as something negative. And honestly, it can be. Jealousy can be destructive. It can completely tear us apart. It can keep us up at night, tossing and turning. And yet, it can also build you. I know that may not be the most popular thing to say, which is exactly why I want to look at one of the most famous legal texts, not just in the Bible, but in human history. And joining this story is a very special and wise man, King Solomon. I'm really excited to share this story with you. The wisdom of King Solomon, the depth of this moment, and the lesson hidden inside it. And I'll be honest, this video feels personal to me because while I was preparing it, I saw things that really stayed with me, and I felt like I had to bring them to you. So let's begin. King Solomon was said to be the wisest man who ever lived. He was the third and final king of the United Kingdom of Israel, and he was the son of King David. Even though he wasn't David's firstborn son, he was still chosen to succeed him. He went on to accomplish great things, including the building of the temple, and some say he was only 12 years old when he became king. Solomon ruled over the kingdom of Israel from 965 to 928 BC, and he became known as the wisest of all men. The Bible tells us that when God asked Solomon what he wanted as king, Solomon didn't ask for wealth or power. He asked for wisdom, the ability to listen, to discern, and to judge well. This is how it appears in 1 Kings chapter 3. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours? Solomon's story is so fascinating that I know I'll come back to it again. But this time, I want to focus on one of the most famous moments in his life, a story that can actually change the way you think and maybe even help you build a better life. Solomon wasn't just wise. He knew how to see into the human heart. And one day, two women came to him, and one of them was holding a baby. They lived in the same house. One woman gave birth, and 3 days later, the other woman gave birth too. There was no one else in the house, only the two of them. And this is the story one of the women tells Solomon. During the night, the other woman's baby died after she lay on him in her sleep. Then, in the darkness, she got up, took the living baby from beside the real mother, and placed her dead baby in his place. So when the mother woke up in the morning to nurse her son, she found a dead baby next to her. But the moment she looked closely, she realized this was not her child. Solomon listens to both women and says, this one says, "My son is alive, and your son is dead." While that one says, "No, your son is dead, and mine is alive." And he repeats it very carefully. He puts weight on those words. And in a moment, you'll see why that matters so much. Then he looks at the women and says, "Bring me a sword." And with that, he gives a shocking order. Cut the living baby in two and give half to one woman and half to the other. And how do the women respond? The first woman is overwhelmed with compassion. She would rather give up the baby completely than see him killed. She says, "Please, my lord, give her the living baby. Don't kill him." But the second woman says, "Neither I nor you shall have him. Cut him in two." And in that moment, Solomon knows. He had already begun to understand who the real mother was, but now it becomes completely clear. The true mother is the one willing to let go of her child if that is what it takes to save his life. So Solomon gives the baby to her. She is the real mother. I know this sounds like a very short story, but now let's go deeper into what really happened here, into Solomon's unusual wisdom, because even before he asked for the sword, he already knew the answer. And we also need to understand why he still asked for the sword anyway. So let's start with the moment the women come to the king. Two women arrive, and one of them is holding the living baby. The other accuses her of stealing him. She says, in other words, her baby died and mine is alive. But the woman holding the child says the exact opposite. My baby is alive and hers is dead. Did you notice what happened there? Each woman says the thing that matters most to her first. To the first woman, the most important thing is that the other woman should not have the baby. To the real mother, the most important thing is that the baby is alive. From that one sentence alone, Solomon already understands who the real mother is and which woman has lost her baby. But he still can't simply announce it. He needs proof, something no one will be able to argue with. I mentioned earlier that Solomon was very young when he became king. And for him, it wasn't only about knowing the truth. It was also about earning the trust of his people. That's why he asks for the unthinkable, to cut the baby in two. But Solomon already knows what a real mother will do. A true mother would rather lose the child than watch him die. And that's exactly what happens. The woman holding the baby, the one who said, "My child is alive and hers is dead," is ready to give up the most precious thing in her world just to keep him alive. She chooses life. And the truth is, she had been choosing life from the very beginning. Her words were about life, not death. With the other mother, it's the exact opposite. She isn't thinking about life at all. She isn't focused on what she still has. And she doesn't even care whether she herself will have a baby or not. All she can think about is making sure the other woman does not. That is what fills her mind. That is what drives her. And she is willing to have the baby killed because that is the only thing she can see. The mother who lost her baby is consumed by death. She is not thinking about life, and that is why death comes first in her words, and that is why she cannot bear for the other woman, the one living with her in the same house, to still have a baby. And what does any of this have to do with jealousy? This is where the story reveals its deepest secret and the lesson I really want you to take with you. Most of us think jealousy is simply wanting something we do not have. But the woman who lost her baby shows us a different kind of jealousy, one that is much darker and far more destructive. It is not the kind that says, "I want what she has." It is the kind that says, "If I cannot have it, she should not have it either." Think about this for a second. She came to the king saying she wanted the baby, or at least that is what she claimed. But the moment Solomon says, "Then let the baby be cut in two," she agrees. Why? Because getting the child was never her deepest desire. What she really wanted was for the other woman to hurt the way she was hurting. In that moment, her pain mattered more to her than the baby's life. She would rather see that child die than see the other woman happy. This kind of jealousy is the worst kind because it blinds you. It stops you from seeing what is still in your own hands, and it locks you into one thing only, what someone else has, and how to see it taken away. And when you live from that place, you cannot build anything good. You cannot create a better life. All your energy goes into someone else's life, and all you want is for them to lose what they have. And what about the real mother? She is focused on life. From the very beginning, her words are about the child who is still alive. She is not focused on the other woman's loss. She is focused on saving the life in front of her, and that life matters so much to her that she is willing to let go of her own baby if that is what it takes for him to live. This mother is focused on building, not destroying. She is not really giving up the baby. She is giving up herself, her claim, her place as his mother, and choosing life over everything else. And of course, in the end, King Solomon gives the baby back to her because he understands exactly what is driving her. She is moved by life, by what still exists, not by revenge, not by bitterness, and not by destruction. So let's pause for a moment and sum up what we've seen so far. The first point is our words. There is incredible power in the words we choose, and very often the first thing we say reveals what matters most to us. One mother's first words were that the other woman's son was dead. That was the mother focused on what was missing, on what was gone. The other mother's first words were that her son was alive. That was the mother focused on what was still there, on the life she still had in front of her. Each woman said what mattered most to her. One spoke from death, and the other spoke from life. And the same is true in our own lives. The first thing we say often reveals what matters most to us. How do we begin our day? Do we start with a simple good morning? Do we speak kindly to the people around us when we see them? Or maybe we start the morning with social media and the news, already looking for what is wrong. Maybe we begin the day searching for the negative. We did not sleep well, our back hurts, our head feels heavy. Those of us who start the day looking for what is wrong usually find that it keeps shaping the rest of the day. But those of us who wake up noticing what is good, that we opened our eyes, that we had a safe place to sleep, that there are still good things around us, are much more likely to keep building from that place. Those of us who walk into work already thinking about who we do not want to see will spend the whole day trying to avoid. But those of us who come in looking for familiar faces, for people we are genuinely happy to see, are much more likely to find good moments throughout the day, real connection, and that quiet feeling that the world around us is a little warmer and more supportive. This sounds simple, but it is one of the most important rules for life. Begin with what is good. Let your first instinct be to look for what you can build, not what is broken. And that starts from the very moment you wake up. I'm not saying your back pain will magically disappear, or that every dream you had last night will suddenly be perfect. But if the first thing you do in the morning is stop and name 3 good things, those are the thoughts you carry with you into the rest of the day. And over time, that begins to shape your life. Your words and your thoughts shape the world you live in. So if there is something in your life that is not where you want it to be, one of the best places to begin is right here. Choose different words and choose to look for the good. Now let's move to the second point, and that is the idea of compromise when there are 2 sides. King Solomon offers the women what sounds like a compromise. He will divide the baby, and each one will get half. And the truth is, there are many things in life that really can be shared. We can split a meal at a restaurant. We can divide our time between our children or between different people we love. But a baby is not something you can divide. What Solomon is really showing us is that there are some things you cannot split and still keep alive. And through that, he sees exactly what matters to each woman. One of them is willing to accept this so-called solution because she has already lost her baby. At that point, all she wants is to make sure the other woman loses too. If she cannot have a child, then the other woman should not have one either. But the real mother is in a completely different place. She is willing to give up the most precious thing in her world if that is what it takes to keep her baby alive. I know this may sound obvious, and maybe part of you is even thinking, these women were not exactly wise, but let me show you how this plays out in our own lives. Picture an argument, maybe with your partner, maybe with someone at work, maybe with your child, or maybe with your parents. You can keep fighting for your side all the way to the end, and maybe you really are right. Maybe what you are saying is true, important, and completely justified. But the real question is, what are you willing to destroy just to prove that you are right? Is it worth ruining the atmosphere at home? Is it worth blowing up a project at work? Will it really satisfy you just to know that you never gave in? Are you willing to settle for a broken outcome just so the other side will not be happy either? Or do you want to build something different? The mother who was willing to give up her baby just so he could live teaches us that some things matter more than being right, more than the ego that pushes us to win. And remember, even when you are sure you are right, the other person has a world of thoughts and feelings too. And even if you manage to prove that you were right all along, there may still be a price to pay. Think about that mother for a moment. She gave up everything. She was willing to lose the case, to let go of the very thing that defined her as a mother, all for one reason: that her baby would remain whole and stay alive. This is where you need to ask yourself, where in your life are you still fighting just to win, even when that fight is tearing something apart? And where might it be wiser to let go, even if for a moment it feels like you lost? I'm not saying you should always give in, and I'm not saying your principles do not matter. But there are moments in life when holding on costs more than releasing, and you have to be honest enough to know the difference. When you are in the middle of an emotional storm, I want to offer you a different way to look at it and ask yourself, what matters more to you right now? Being right, being the one at the center, or making sure the thing you have been building can keep living? Take a project at work, for example. What matters more in that moment, proving your point or getting the work done? This is the moment to learn how to loosen your grip sometimes and to understand that it does not make you any less. It does the opposite. It builds you. It makes you better. When you stop needing to be right and start asking how to build instead, and sometimes how to build together with the people around you, your whole reality begins to change. It becomes more positive, and in the end, you achieve so much more. If I go back to the example of a project at work, walking away from it because of arguments can end up hurting you. And your reputation too, even if you were right. But seeing it through, even if it is not done the way you would have chosen, already puts you in a stronger position. And now we come to the third and final point in this video, and it is probably the most important one of all. I did not save it for the end just to keep you watching. I saved it for now because if the first 2 points really landed, then you are ready for this one. Jealousy can destroy, and jealousy can also build. Go back to the story for a moment. One mother wanted the baby to live, no matter the cost. The other wanted the baby dead for one reason only. If she could not have a child, then the other woman should not have one either. She was not moved by love, and she was not trying to protect anything. She was consumed by pain, and that pain turned into jealousy so dark that all she wanted was this. If her life had been shattered, the other woman's life should be shattered too. This is destructive jealousy, and all of us can recognize it in our own lives. We see someone driving a beautiful car, and almost immediately we start coming up with reasons it does not really count. He probably cheated to get it. Maybe his parents gave him the money. Maybe he is only driving it to impress people, and in real life, he is not worth much at all. That kind of jealousy damages the way we see things. For a moment, it makes us feel better about ourselves, because we tell ourselves we did not hurt anyone, we did not cheat, and we worked hard for the car we have, if we even have one. And a lot of people do this because it is their way of feeling a little better about themselves. The truth is, this kind of criticism toward other people does not help us. It fills our minds with negative thoughts, can pull us into depression, makes everyday life feel heavy and uncomfortable, and it truly keeps us from moving forward. And in extreme cases, jealousy can take a person to a very dark place, the kind of place we see in Solomon's judgment, where someone is willing to cut the baby in two. I want to offer you a different way of looking at jealousy. Let's say you see someone driving a beautiful car. Instead of judging him, ask yourself, what would I actually want to know about this person? Maybe you would really go up and ask. Maybe you would start looking for the answer on your own. Maybe even online. Maybe what you really want to know is whether he built his own business. And if he did, then maybe there is something there for you to learn. Maybe even a way to work with him for a while and see how he got there. Or maybe all you want is to look at that person, look at that car, and say to yourself, that's what I'm aiming for. Not in a way that says, I don't want them to have it. In a way that says, I want to build that for myself too. Not so only one of you gets to have something beautiful, but so both of you can. Of course, the car is just a metaphor. So let me give you another example. Let's say you see a mother who really seems to enjoy being with her children. She takes them to the park with a smile on her face. They sit together at a cafe. Her kids maybe even eat fruit without a fight. And then you look at your own life. What does that feel like? Maybe you're tired, completely worn out. Maybe you haven't had a real night of sleep in a long time. Maybe every day feels like a battle just to get your kids to eat something healthy, and you can't even remember the last time you had a quiet moment to yourself. In a moment like that, you can start picking apart the other mother and looking for everything that must be wrong with her, just to make your own situation feel easier to justify. But I'll tell you something honestly. If that becomes your way of seeing things, you'll stay exactly where you are. Let me suggest something else. Go speak to that mother. Maybe ask her for a tip or two. And if that feels uncomfortable, then look for advice somewhere else. But do not miss what is right in front of you. Now you have an example of the kind of mother you want to become. Because if her children start throwing food, acting wild, and wearing her down too, it will not make you feel any better. Then both of you are exhausted. What you need is to look at someone else's success as proof that the life you want is possible. And this is where jealousy can actually build you. It can turn into a model you learn from, something that helps you grow, develop, and sometimes even build alongside someone else. Instead of looking at life as you versus another woman, try choosing a win-win way of thinking. It is possible. The story of Solomon's judgment is short, and at first it can almost seem too obvious. But the wisdom inside it can truly shape the way you live. So tell me in the comments what resonated with you most and what you want to take with you from this story. Because the moment you put it into words, you are already taking a real step. And if you have not done it yet, subscribe to the channel and join us for more videos that can help you build a better life.